So much events happen in just few days. But since we were busy, we were not able to cover it. This week, we will say a lot of things what happened in the last week. But in this video, we will particularly focus on two events, the testimonies and the plane crash. And we will discuss what are its causes, what can be done, and what other countries like India can learn from. Let us begin. The plane crashed in Washington, D.C. just 2 days ago. The crash happened when helicopter and an airplane collided with each other, causing more than 60 deaths. It was looking like that chopper was flying in a wrong way. The pilot was a woman. Some say it was a trans woman. But later, people came to know it was complete DEI hire, according to Donald Trump. He blamed DEI for the crash, and he said that if meritocracy is put aside and so-called diversity and agenda like feminism, racism, misandry, communism, etc. are pushed forward instead, it will create catastrophic results. And hence, Donald Trump signed many executive orders taking immediate actions against such biases. And hence, hopefully, within few weeks, things will get all right. Democrats try to spin it as everything should be blamed on Trump because Trump fired bureaucrats. But Trump smartly played that game by blaming the bureaucracy instead. Caroline Leavitt gave a great press conference. She exposed a lot of dirty things like Biden administration allowed drones to fly over New Jersey and like many others. And then we come to the most important event and most important things that is focused so far since yesterday, that is testimonies of three candidates for Trump cabinet, that is Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, and Robert Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy had literal verbal fights with some of the senators, especially the Democrat senators. And the most funniest part was he had fight with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was asking him not to sue pharma companies, especially the vaccine companies. And Robert Kennedy threw counter accusation at Bernie's face by saying that Bernie and all the politicians from the Democrat side, especially in the Congress, have taken millions of dollars from the pharma companies, and Bernie being the highest receiver, which is more than 2 million per month since 1990s. And Bernie got furious. Bernie threw tantrum at his face. So were many other Democrat senators who were accusing of that Kennedy is a anti-vaccine, though his own children took vaccine. He wants people to die. Some senator even used their own children's autistic disorder tragedy, unfortunately, to showcase that the Robert Kennedy is saying vaccine is reason for the disease spread. Despite Robert Kennedy said that any study which will prove wrong, he will apologize to the whole world for it. It is just looking like a smear campaign. Some Republican also came in opposition, but seems like now they are scared because Trump has said that any Republican who vote against Kennedy's nomination will face consequences. That is getting primaried. Another testimony was of Tulsi Gabbard. She will be Director of National Intelligence, DNI. She had comparatively very good congressional hearing. She was asked great questions, though the most common question was regarding Snowden. She repeatedly denounced Snowden. Then she was asked about connection with Assad and Russia. She said that they are not right, although the US supported the wrong side at the same time. She gave example of Syria, that Syria is having a far worse regime despite they are no fan of Assad, which is quite a good assessment, and US need to be pragmatic. And in fact, it was a very quiet and very good congressional hearing. And then there was a 30-minute closed door hearing of her as well. Seems like Tulsi Gabbard is most likely to get passed through Senate vote in the coming week. Kennedy, little difficult, but he still may crack it. The most controversial hearing of all was Kash Patel. He is a proud Hindu who said Jai Shri Krishna before the hearing began. He is not ashamed of his own identity, and we have to know why. Because he is from Uganda, despite having Indian origin. He fled from Uganda in early 70s when Idi Amin gave blackmail to all Indian community who were British citizens to flee Uganda within, I guess, 30 days. And British government failed to evacuate them. Ironically, it was Indian government with help of some foreign countries who evacuated entire Indian population. So hence, despite Kash Patel's parents reached Britain, they had a deep dislike for Britain, and hence their parents later shifted to Canada. And later they migrated to USA after, I guess, 15 years. And in America, Cash was born. And hence they are very tough-minded. Even Elon Musk, who is also from Africa, is very tough-minded. It seems like anyone born in Africa is very tough-minded because they play zero-sum game. It is 0 and 1, which means either you win or you die. There is no middle path. And that's how they play the game. And hence Kash Patel treated this congressional hearing as a game itself. A game of life and death. And here he went full ballistic mode, which makes him superior. The congressional hearing of Gabbard and even Kennedy looks pale in front of Kash Patel's hearing. Everybody tried to accuse them of something, and Kash Patel threw counter accusations. Kash Patel said how matlab governmental agency was politicized, weaponized against political opponent, how they persecuted political opponents, and so on. And hence, he actually took a triumphant victory at congressional hearing. And this is his biggest win of any Indian who were so far shamed by everyone outside of the country. Indians were seen as inferior, weak, paralyzed, criminals, petty thieves, rapists, whatever. But Kash Patel broke all those barriers, and he's shown that there is another side of being an Indian. He did not show any sign of inferiority complex, which most Indians do have. Like most Indian watch, oh, white man, oh, he's eating our food, let's watch them. Let's watch their YouTube video, oh, he's white man roaming in the street. Oh, let's have a selfie. Despite that, white man is not even famous guy. He's a basically taxi driver in his own country. So, what is important is Indian needs to have some level of self-respect. I'm not saying that you need to feel superior. But the thing is that Indian must feel equal. Equal in the true sense. I am always advocating for natural right in most ways. But in this case, I say we should have human right, because Indian men, American men, British men, Russian men, African men, every man is damn equal. as long as they have free speech, they have basic rights. Not in economy, but in a social life. And India needs to understand that. What else India can learn is that India needs to have a transparent congressional hearing style hearing. We should have rather parliamentary hearing, especially of the upper house, to the cabinet ministers, like US does have towards cabinet ministers. India's Rajya Sabha is basically dumb. They have no power. They don't even appoint judge. At least in America, the Senate plays a big role in appointing judges through congressional hearing and vote. We think that India needs to have a critical reform, and we believe that India should be like United States because its geographic as well as demographic composition is very similar to United States. Like United States, India is very diverse country, and India can do better if it follow American path, not the woke one but the true American meritocratic one. India should abandon freebie and Indians should put talent above, just like America is doing now. Trump is showing how things needs to be done. Trump is showing the blueprint for whole world to follow. Hopefully India learns. Thank you. If you do like the video, do press like button, do press subscribe button, do share video to your loved ones, and of course do comment. Namaste.